Alright, in this video we're going to be combining like terms, and notice that we have a lot of different terms that are just sitting here ready to be put together. So when we combine like terms, it's really just matching up things that are like. For instance, I'm going to start by using a box, and I'm going to box 4x to the third power, or what we call 4x cubed. And I'm going to look and see, are there any other x cubed variables inside of these terms. And if I look, there's a x to the power 1, x to the power 1, so there's no other x cubes. So this one right here, I'm just going to bring it down and write it all by itself. So I have 4x cubed. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one. So I'm going to be looking for regular x's. So notice I have a 2x here. I'm going to go over and I have a positive 3x here. And notice that as I'm circling the term, I do circle the sign that's in front of it as well, because that tells me if it's positive or negative. So that whatever sign you see in front of the number, it goes with the term that comes after it. So I'm going to put these together. So for instance, I have 3 x's and I have 2 x's. And if I add those up, and when I say add them, everything that we're doing here, this is combining like terms. So I just want you to be in the mindset of thinking you are adding everything. So we have a 2 being added to a 3. Right, so we got 2 plus 3, and it's 5. Therefore, we have positive 5x. Now, I do want you to notice that I didn't put the variable in the calculator, because if you put the letter in the calculator, it's going to give you an error. You just put the coefficient. In other words, just put this number that's in front of it when you're adding it, and then just write the x after it when you bring it down. Next, notice we have this negative y value. So I'm going to go ahead, put a triangle around it. I have negative y, and I'm going to look for any more that have a y to the power of 1. And I say power of 1 because it doesn't have a power, and anything that doesn't have a power has a power of 1. So I'm going to move through it. That's a power of 3, power of 2, and there's no other y's other than that one with a power of 1. So I'm just going to bring it down. So I got minus y, and then notice we have this 2y to the power of 3, and we have negative 3y to the power of 2 here. So if I go ahead and I look at this one, this is actually different than the others. I'm going to box it. It does not match up with this power of 2. So I cannot combine it with anything. So don't be tempted to combine it if it does not have another term with the same power for the variable. We don't have any other y's to the power of 2. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down as well. So minus 3y to the power of 2. And then the last thing that I have is I notice I have this 7 and I have this negative 5. So those we can put together. Neither one of them have a variable, so they're constant values, and we can put that together with the calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and get my calculator, and I'll do positive 7. So 7 plus negative 5. And it gives me 2. So I'll write that right here, plus 2. Now, there's nothing else that we can combine here. This is as combined as you can get. However, when we write our final answer, we do want to put the terms in order with the highest power first, and then the next highest power, and the next, and so on. So I'm going to start by rewriting this whole thing for my final answer. I'm going to write it as 4 times x to the power of 3. And then notice we have this 2y to the power of 3, so I'm going to bring it down, and I'm just going to cross them out as I bring them down, plus 2y to the power of 3, and then we have a y with the power of 2, so minus 3y to the power of 2, and then we have an x and a y, so I'm going to do the x next, so plus 5x minus y, and then finally plus 2. And while this answer has a lot of terms in it, some will, some won't, that's as simplified as it can possibly get. Everything that can be combined together has been placed together. And that's your final answer. We have simplified and combined like terms.